Hey everybody, this is Clint. I just wanted to talk about more Legend of Zelda stuff because that's what I enjoy. Um, yeah, I'm clamoring for more, for more new stuff. So I'll talk about what's already here. The arrow types, pretty cool video. I think I'll discuss what my favorite ones are and what I think the best ones are. Actually, here is the bomb arrow. You see it takes out 2 enemies in a radius of about 10 feet. Very good. Just to pause, and I'll talk about the bomb arrow. You can see it's just like any regular arrow. Launches it. I guess it's some sort of powder, and what has to have some sort of ignition, probably the kinetic force of impact. So it must be an explosive powder that works off friction. And for that big of an arrow size, we have real life explosive arrows that are similar to that. Like that looks more like a grenade launcher. So I could see it be comparable to a undermounted grenade launcher. It slips me what it's called. I think like an M40. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry, not a weapons expert, just a guy that likes to talk about that stuff. Anyway, so yeah, that's how much damage he does. Takes out at least 2 guys. Oh, sorry. Let's see here. Both of them standing. Yeah, look at that. Destroyed both of them. 1 hit. Link, very accurate with the regular arrows, as always. Don't do as much damage. The fire arrow. Comparable to the explosive arrow, though it looked like it did a much smaller area of effect, of course. 5 seconds. And let's just put this on speed 0.25. And bam. Look at that. That is huge. Huge explosion. That's bigger than any grenade I've ever seen. Like, that's missile. That's like missile level almost. Because see the height of the bridge? If Link is about to here, just about, so that's at least 6, 12, 18, 24, about a 30-foot explosion, even though it only goes about, oh, I'm sorry, it's on a platform. It's about a, okay, let's say 20-foot explosion, and you can see the highly volatile gas and heat and light and stuff goes to about, that's about 20 feet. So I'd say it's a good 20 feet. And then boom, 2 people out, dead, gone. And then he switches mid-arrow. Sorry, let me just put that back to normal. Being he's being hella accurate. Then the fire arrow, let's see. Boom. Oh, look at that. That's not even close. Like, why would you ever choose the fire arrow over the bomb arrow? That was pitiful in comparison. That was just horrible. No comparison. Though it does set things on fire, I see no reason why the bomb arrow shouldn't set things on fire. Though it's most likely incendiary type weapon, so it can do damage over time. Maybe creatures that are resistant to kinetic force and heat. Well, kinetic force anyway. Rapid kinetic force and heat and light, etc. Maybe it'll do more damage to them. It'll damage over time, of course. It can do that, damage over time. It burns wooden shields, as we see. See here. But it barely penetrates. It does catch the other guy on fire, I suppose, so there is a radius of effect that expands past the shield. I wonder if he had a wooden weapon, would it have caught on fire too, and given him a wooden weapon? But let's see how quickly he recovers from it. Very quickly. He recovers very quickly. He's almost not on fire anymore. So the damage over time theory is Yeah, that's fire arrows. You get a solid 5 out of 10 for me. Bomb arrows so far 9, 10. Took out multiple people. Just as fast. It doesn't travel any slower than the other arrows. Um, they look like he had the same amount. So unless we see otherwise, they're relatively within the same amount of. You'll find them just as often, though. I guess that could be a thing. You won't be able to find bomb arrows as much as you do the other two. And as we see here, the ice arrow. Great, that's cool. I'd give it, but look how much damage it did. Hardly anything. So it's more of a stun thing. I'm guessing it's gonna stun enemies, give you time to get away. Did relatively horrible damage, but I like it. I like the effect mostly. Look, it's almost like a flower. Let's see. Yeah, see, it creates a weird ice construct, which I guess is sort of like the ice version explosion of some sort of magic. And then anything touching it is frozen, or just the enemy it hits. Because if there's a couple people surrounding it, and they all get touched by it, and they all get frozen just by contact, even though that's not how it works, that's great, awesome. I like that. I'd give it a 7 out of 10 if that's how it works. But if it only freezes one enemy, and that's all the damage it does, and, okay, it stuns them, but what if you're surrounded? What if those other 5 guys hadn't just been killed? And let's see how quickly he thaws out. Very nice. Okay, so one hit, he's thawed out. Look, he's not dead. That's why. Okay, ice arrow dropped to like the same as the fire arrow. Less so, actually. You know what? I like the fire arrow aesthetic, but no, the fire arrow probably didn't do nearly as much as that one did either. So they're relatively on par. I think they just have special effects. They're just whatever you want to. If you want to burn a shield, get rid of the shield so he can't block. Like block your heavy attacks, yeah. Or if you want to stun him for a second, so you have reliable damage or secured damage. That's okay. But the bomb arrow definitely seems to be the winner. 8, 9, 10. 9, 10. I want to see the rune arrow. I really do. And I want to see a couple different more types just to see what they look like and see how they'd be done. Like a multi-missile type arrow, that'd be cool. But let's see. Here, show him again. Let's see. Does he... He seems to be frozen for a while. My only complaint is that... I'll let this play in the background. My only complaint is that ice, the way it works is heat travels from hot to cold. So an ice arrow would pretty much rapidly draw all the heat from either the air around him, the surface of his skin, because he does thaw out and keep attacking, even though there's no reason for him to, after being frozen like that, that quickly, that rapidly frozen, he'd be brain dead. I can only imagine the detrimental effects that would have on this guy. But he must be a magical creature or be a construct. Though you see him eating, so he has to have some sort of internal organs or vital I don't know. Anyway, him just being unfrozen like that doesn't make too much sense to me. But it's a video game, balance, gameplay, etc. Though, yeah. So final verdict. Ice arrow. Okay. 5 out of 10. I want to see if it can freeze larger enemies or all the range of enemies it can freeze. Otherwise, I'd like to see it to be able to charge a few more times than once, or maybe he gets some sort of rune upgrade or just a weapon upgrade to let him fire 3 of those, or make it a bigger, larger effect. Then I'll like it more. Fire arrow needs an upgrade. Okay, it burns wooden shields. It burns wooden stuff. Great. It's cool, but it definitely seems the weakest. The fire arrow. The ice arrow didn't do any damage, but at least it froze him there for a good long period of time, as you saw the second time. Bomb arrow takes the cake. No contest. Like, it's a landslide victory. Landslide. That thing looked like it had more impact and a bigger explosion than like some fucking M40 grenades or grenade launchers or, etc., etc. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, etc. if you want to. If you want me to talk more about this stuff. Thanks. See ya. Oops.